Well, hello everyone. Richarlison is a done deal in the door. We knew it was coming today, and there's a few reasons for that, which we'll speak about. But welcome to the channel, Kieran from Speaking Spurs, talking all things Tottenham. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Smash it with a like if you enjoy it, and don't forget to leave your comments at the end of the video. And the way we'll structure this one, we'll talk through the club statement, which I've got loaded over here beside me. A few little bits about Richarlison himself and what he can possibly bring to the game, his playing style, a few little stats from the past, and then just a little general chit chat. Because we actually brought in another couple of signings today, but to our development squad. One of them is a guy I spoke about before, and that was young Keeley, I think it was, the goalkeeper. But we'll talk about that another day. So let's jump into it. The next signing over the line, we mean business. He is being backed near on 60 million. Richarlison is in the door. So this is what the club had to say on the website. We are delighted to announce the signing of Richarlison from Everton, subject to a work permit. Details, he'll be fine with that. Fully fledged international, been playing in the Premier League, so that's all good. The Brazilian international has signed a contract with us until 2027. Richarlison, who's 25 years old, has made 173 appearances in the Premier League to date, scoring 48 goals during spells at Watford and Everton since making the switch from Fluminense in August 2017. Born in Nova Venecia, the versatile attacker began his youth career at Real Noroeste and America Football Club before making his professional debut in July 2015. No comments on the way I pronounce those, by the way. He joined Fluminense in January 2016, scoring 11 goals in 46 appearances, and was named in the Campeonato Carioca Team of the Year after helping his side reach the final of the competition in his second season. In August 2017, he then made the switch to Watford, and in his first season, he featured in every single one of their 38 Premier League fixtures, earning himself a move to Everton, where he marked his debut with a brace in a 2-2 draw against Wolves. Deployed as either a wide attacker or central striker, Richarlison finished Everton as Everton's joint top goal scorer across all competitions in his opening 2 seasons on Merseyside, reaching double figures in 3 of the 4 seasons he spent with the Toffees since joining in July 2018. On the international stage, Richarlison made his senior debut for Brazil in September 2018 as a second-half substitute in the 2-0 win over the United States, and has gone on to make 36 appearances, scoring 14 goals, which is not a bad return for a winger/striker. He was named in the 23-man squad that competed for the 2019 Copa America for the first time since 2007. Brazil won the tournament, with Richarlison scoring in the final against Peru. The rescheduled 2020 Olympic Summer Games followed, and Richarlison played a vital role in Brazil's gold medal success, finishing as the tournament's leading scorer with 5 goals. So that's what the club had to say, which is just a few little facts about his time along the way. So let's speak about him himself. He, in terms of a winger, he's not your typical Brazilian winger. He's very much more direct than he is skillful. He's more of a Willian than a Neymar, which is strange because we wanted Willian all that time ago and never got him. Years down the line, we've got his heir. He does have what some may call a bit of an attitude problem. But however, it's his attitude on the pitch that I think Conte would be attracted to. He can be known as egotistical when he's not really starting games or he gets substituted. But you would imagine with that attitude, there must have been a promise from Conte about some sort of guaranteed playing time. But, you know, we'll start the season in the Premier League, every cup competition, Champions League football as well. So there's going to be plenty of football. And the way Conte drills the guys, you'd think they're probably going to need a rest every now and again. I think tiredness and the slimness of our squad probably has cost us a little bit over the last few years. So, yeah. But I think Conte will be a big fan of his on-pitch persona, as, you know, he kind of embodies what Conte is on the sidelines. He embodies that on the pitch with aggression, tenacity, which is something that we've been missing at the top of the pitch. Like, Harry Kane's a very technical player. Sonny is a quick player. I'd say on the ball, we get a bit of tenacity from Kulusevski. Off the ball, not as much. But Richarlison certainly is aggressive, tenacious. He's willing to fight for the badge, which we saw with Everton in their pretty much big demise and downfall in the Premier League over the season. He fought and fought and fought and fought tooth and nail to make sure they didn't go down. So that is something that Conte will like. So he can be a real asset in that. But as for his playing style, he's a rare breed of attacker, and I'm not saying he does anything out of this world. What I mean by that is he's able to play in multiple positions across the attack at an alarmingly good level. He's not better at one than the other, really. We've seen him predominantly deployed on the left. He spent some time on the right, but under Ancelotti, he was slotted into the 4-2-2-2 system and played alongside Dominic Calvert-Lewin in a 2 up front, and did very well. The two of them seemed to form a good partnership. Their passing between each other was good. The thing that I like the most is Richarlison's ability to run the channels, constantly running channels. One thing that I will say I've not been a massive fan of with Spurs is our ability not to run the channels. We're actually relying more on Harry Kane playing a ball into space, knowing that Sonny can get onto it, whereas there's a lot of times in a game where I'm thinking, make a diagonal run. Just do it. Go through the gap, and they don't happen. So I think with Richarlison, that's something that we are going to get. And also, one of the things that he's very good at, a little bit greedy in a sense, is his ability to cut inside when he's playing out on the left to get away those shots. It's something that he absolutely loves doing, something I wouldn't say is going to change. And wasn't too successful to start with in the Premier League. He's very good at managing to get onto that foot and get shots away. His actual conversion rate isn't too great, but then the majority of his shots are from outside of the box, which is not a bad thing, because that could lead to corners, deflections for somebody like Harry Kane to run onto and finish the ball. So, there's plenty of scope and reason why shooting outside the box is a good thing. We've seen many wonder goals from our players, so we'll take it. But he's more than capable of getting better. And in a squad like, Watford first, struggling. Everton have obviously had a decline. You would think at Tottenham he would get more and more chances, and he's going to be better and better. Conte will drill him and make him a better player. He's good in tight spaces. He likes to draw opposition players onto him. He's a quick thinker, which is a massive, massive positive in a team like Conte's that heavily relies on, once we win the ball back in defence, to break really quickly. He's got the ability to make correct decisions, but more often than not, if a defender gets right on his toes, he's not great at making the right decision. That is probably his biggest weakness. He has a bit of a signature move where he kind of chips the ball a little bit over a defender's foot to break down the wing. Sometimes he looks like he's playing a million miles a minute. Look back to Adel Tarabt when he was first at Spurs and kind of started playing a couple of first team games. A bit like a headless chicken, plays at a million miles an hour. But a lot of that is due to what Everton asked of him, especially last season. He never leaves defenders feeling comfortable or steady, and he's constantly making runs and creating danger across the field. One thing I will say, he kind of goes a bit unnoticed for with opposition defenders. They underestimate his ability in the air. So he stands at 5'10", so not huge, but not small either. 5'10", a decent height. However, he's got a very, very good leap on him. So from set pieces, he can be very dangerous. But it's not just from set pieces. What he does in the game with this constant running that he's got, his ability to arc his run behind a defender is very good. So he'll quite often arrive late in the box and be able to get on the end of things. So let's have a look at his stats. Last season, despite spearheading the relegation threat in Everton, he still registered 10 goals and 5 assists, which is good for a team battling relegation, not doing too much. So he actually got an impressive goal contribution of 0.5 per game. That's either goals or assists. In previous seasons, he has 10, 16, 15 and 10 goal contributions in the 3 seasons at Goodison Park and his debut campaign with Watford. So that's 48 goals, 18 assists in 173 Premier League appearances, which you might think, that's not incredible, but it's not bad either, considering he hasn't been at a team that has free-flowing attacking football, that is dominant within games. These are teams that are quite often on the back foot. Now, you'd think under Conte, going into next season, he's going to have a full pre-season to work with these players. We're going to be on the front foot in a lot of games, and the games against the bigger clubs, we're going to be able to hit them on the break. So Richarlison does that for us as well. So I think that there's potential for his numbers to grow, so that's a good thing. But aside from the goal contributions, his work rate is the main thing Conte has brought him in for. It fits the mould completely. His numbers depict a high intensity all action player. Of all the forwards in the top 5 leagues, he actually profiles in the top 10% for pressures, blocks, interceptions and tackles, most of which presumably take place within the opposition half, because he's a forward, so he's in the opposition half. And the best thing to do, attack from the front, something that we didn't do enough. We started to last season, but it's something that we definitely need to continue to work on. His energy is a box massively checked for Conte. His willingness to press high up the pitch can help facilitate mistakes in the opposition, win possession in dangerous areas. The transfer fee, is it value for money? It's a bit of a difficult one. The position he was in, and Everton. So this is the main reason Everton have had to do the deal now, which is probably why the price is a bit heftier on our part, but there's probably some leeway, and I think some things would have been worked out. So rumours were Daniel Levy had dinner with Bill Kenwright. They talked through a few things. I know we were also after Gordon. That didn't happen. Doesn't mean it won't happen, maybe at a later date, but I believe there would have been things discussed about, if we have a reduced fee, do we take off some of the add-ons that were involved in the Dele Alli deal? Do we put players in it? I know we did offer them 20 million plus Bergwijn, of which they rejected. I don't know if Bergwijn would have gone there anyway. Not 100% sure. I know he just wants playing time before the next international tournament. So I don't really know what, but the talks would have been going on to make sure. The reason why it had to be done by today is to meet financial deadlines to do with profits and losses, incomings and outgoings from transfers. Everton had until tonight to get that over the line. So the deal was always going to take place today if it was going to happen, or something was going to happen. And for them, the Richarlison one was the biggest one to get over the line, because he's worth more money than any of the other players from Everton we were looking at. So that is why that one's got over the line. But it's good for us because it means more business done early. Richarlison's medical had to happen in Brazil whilst he's away. But look, it's exciting times. I think the fact that he can play in many positions is a massive, massive, massive plus for us. He's dangerous in 1v1s with his dribbling. So it gives us the possibility of, if we have injuries to Sonny or Kulusevski comes in to replace, Harry Kane's out, we've then got a forward that can interchange with Sonny. Because I'm still not convinced of Sonny when he plays through the middle on his own. Not a massive fan on that. So he actually fits into the system that Conte likes to play, with the 3 centre-backs, the wing-backs and the 3 up top. We know he can work in a 2. He could probably work in a 1 because he's good enough too with his pace and awareness. So, does he start? I don't know. It depends. It depends where Conte wants to play him. Off the left, we know he's not going to start because Sonny's there. Through the middle, he's not going to start because Kane's there. On the right is probably his best bet. I don't know what this means for the future of Lucas Moura. He's a very popular player within the squad. The fans seem to like him. He's a bit inconsistent on the pitch. He creates a lot of chances, but he runs into dead ends quite a lot, and I know a lot of fans find that frustrating. So I don't know what this means for Lucas Moura. Kulusevski, we're obviously wanting, had a very good first season with us, good on the assists, contributed with some goals, especially right towards the latter stages of the season where we needed crucial goals to get us over the line. So I'm not sure he walks straight into the squad. He definitely will get game time. I think he's somebody that can force his way into the squad, but I would expect that this deal would cause possible outgoings. We know Bergwijn is going to be a man going out the door. Now, whether we keep hold of Lucas Moura just because of his experience or not, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think about that. So, that is it. Richarlison in the door for, I think it's 58 million it works out as. On a contract, decent amount of time, decent player. I think the main thing to take away from this is we are getting things done. We want players. We want a big club mentality. We've been clever with the free transfers. We've spent a bit of money. And we've spent a big bit of money. So we're doing well. I think Bazuma, great signing. I think it was a very good price. This one's a bit more expensive, but it shows we mean business because other clubs are in for him, and that's the main thing. Rather than running the risk of another club taking him, I think Daniel Levy's just gone, do you know what? Let's just sanction it, get it out of the way. Big club mentality. More to come. They're saying now, I know this Jed Spence deal went a bit quiet. They're saying it started to progress again. I think it's minor details and all the add-ons. So the player apparently has agreed personal terms. That's going to get over the line. Longley from Barcelona looks like he's going to be coming in on loan. That one is getting closer and closer now. So I would expect they are going to be our next two signings. So that will mean we see a centre-back coming into the club and a right wing-back. There's a few other players that we're looking at that aren't firmed up enough yet, but we will talk about those potentially Sunday because I'm off tonight for an audition and Saturday for another one. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed that. Richarlison in the door, Ivan Perisic, Fraser Forster, Yves Bissouma, all experienced players. 3 of them within the Premier League and one of them, Ivan Perisic, you know enough about him. So, until next time, comments, like, subscribe. I have been Kieran from Speaking Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.